man joining us now is a Super Bowl champion, a man who has gone down to Jacksonville, instilled his culture, and created a winner quickly. A guy that I think we all wished was the head coach of our team whenever he was potentially looking for a new job. Now he's in Duval with Jax, DeVille, who bungee jumps off the lights to start games, 2 pools in the entire con paradise. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Pederson.
Yeah, Coach.
Coach, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really well. I love the outfits, man. Love the costumes. It's Halloween. Great job.
Hey, thank you, Coach. I love the fact you wore the visor. Let's do full game day fit. You look amazing.
Yeah.
You look amazing.
Yep.
The hair is flawless. Can we talk about this?
Please.
You know that the hair is good, right? That's why you do the visor? You know the hair is good hair?
I don't announce it and really say it publicly, but deep down somewhere in my heart, yes, I do know.
Yeah,
I do know.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Every time we see it underneath that visor, you think to yourself, damn, that man's got a good head of hair right there. That can't be real. But let's talk about what can't be real. Hey, you go into places and you win. I mean, they've never won before. Okay, Philadelphia, what was it, 50 years or whatever since the last Super Bowl? There's people eating horse poop on the street because of this. Right. Your team goes and does it. Now you're down in Jacksonville. Expectations are win the AFC South. Why do you think that is, Coach, honestly? And what is it about your culture that is so successful so quickly?
You know, I really believe in the players. I really believe that, Trent Baalke, myself, we've brought in a group of guys. And there was a group of guys here that are high culture guys. They're high character guys, just great leaders. They went out and drafted Trevor Lawrence a couple years ago, the year before I got here, so they got the quarterback piece in place and then just building around that, and really for me, it's just kind of taking the things that I've learned through my professional career as a player, learning from guys like Mike Holmgren and Don Shula and Andy Reid and all the head coaches that I had, in my career. And then obviously translating that over now into as a head coach and just getting these guys to kind of buy into that. And, I do believe that too, when you win in this league, it comes with a level of respect. And these players have really bought into that. And listen, they trust each other and really, really playing really well right now.
Yeah, I'd say. What a win in Pittsburgh this past weekend. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, what's it like coaching Trevor Lawrence? The guy seems like he is incredibly mature beyond his years, as they say sometimes. He seems like he's like unflappable. He has all those things you want in your franchise QB. How have you kind of seen him grow as well through your time there?
Yeah, AJ, I mean, this guy, he's the real deal. And the thing is, he's continuing to get better. And each game, he just takes another step closer in the direction that we want to go. And really in his progression as a quarterback and being one of the elite, quarterbacks in this league. And, he's a sponge. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. He wants to be coached, which is really sometimes can be rare in this day and age, but he definitely wants to be pushed hard and challenged. And he's really opened up second year with us, as a staff and in our system. Just a great leader, and really, I'll tell you this too. I mean, going out and getting guys like, Zay Jones and Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram a year ago, you go get Calvin Ridley this year, and you just put pieces around him. He's done a nice job of getting all those guys involved in our offense.
Let's talk about those pieces around Trevor. The Christian Kirk signing was one that kind of reset the entire wide receiver market. And a lot of people were saying, well, Jacksonville he's been awesome with Trevor Lawrence. What is it about him and the guys that you've brought in that makes your offense and the offense around Trevor kind of click? And who are you looking for to join your team? Is there certain types of guys that you want on your roster?
Well, obviously you want talented guys, right? Guys that can fit and guys that can fit into your culture. And so when we looked a year ago in the free agent market and Christian Kirk was available, he's somebody that I really enjoyed watching coming out of college at Texas A&M and thought that his college tape was really good. Of course, I was in Philadelphia at the time, but getting guys like him here who his work ethic during the week, if you ever came and watched a week of practice and how hard he goes in practice, there's no hesitation why he and Trevor are on the same page because they work extremely hard together. And those are the type of guys you want. Zay Jones did the same thing. Calvin Ridley does the same thing. Evan does the same thing. It's just the way they work together, and they're high character guys. They're the unselfish athlete. All they want to do is win, put in the time, put in the effort, and it's paying off for our offense and for our team right now.
You retiring anytime soon?
No.
Fuck. Everything you're saying right now, Coach, sounds like long decade and a half for the Indianapolis Colts.
2 to 3 decades.
You know what I mean? That's not fantastic news.
Hey, Pat, listen, I got to say this, though. I do really appreciate the shout-out previous to the Week 1 game. That was a great shout-out in the stadium down there, Lucas Oil. That was awesome.
Hey, Trevor.
Banging that anvil, boom.
And then what?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. I felt it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But it was, listen, if I didn't have respect for you, I wasn't going to say your name. But honestly, from watching you, like that Philadelphia Eagles team, you need to know this. As a fan watching from outside in, I saw a video from team meeting night before NFC Championship game, and Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares was playing in there, and everybody in the room, 75-year-old white offensive line coach was, hold up, wait a minute. Whole team was like vibing. Like the way you've been able to build your teams to come together and be as tight as they are is not normal. So I've always been a massive fan. With that being said, when I say your name during the thing, like, don't be scared to lose that game. It gives me a little bit more credibility around these parts. But we're all massive fans of yours, Coach, honestly.
Well, thank you. And I'll tell you this. When you empower your players, and it doesn't always have to fall on my shoulders, you empower the players to be great and let them kind of control the football team. It's their team, right? And let them go play. We just have to steer the ship, let them go. And that's what they did back in Philly in 2017. We lost a lot of good players. We lost Darren Sproles that year. We lost, Jason Peters that year. We lost some really good Chris Maragos for the year. We lost our starting quarterback for the year, but it was a matter of just empowering the team, much like here in Jacksonville, letting the guys take over. And that's really what carries you through the hard times. And that's carried us through the Super Bowl that year.
Massive respect for that. Yeah. Darius has a question for you.
Speaking of empowering players, I got a chance to listen to Trevor Lawrence kind of mic'd up against our coach, talking through the offense, really taking ownership of the offense. Heard him kind of call out that Christian Kirk touchdown on the slot fade. But also empowering coaches. Obviously, from a head coaching position, you got OC Press Taylor calling the plays and not yourself as an offensive head coach. What went into that decision, and do you feel like it helps you, I guess, manage the game otherwise when you're not calling plays?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been asked that a lot, especially early in the season. And obviously it's not an easy decision to come to. It takes a lot of soul searching and a lot of thought that has to go into that, because I do enjoy calling plays and it keeps you involved in the game. But I just felt like that. My best as far as a leader, as far as the head coach, being able to control the football game and manage the game and do different things, spend time on defense, spend time special teams, managing all of that has been a lot better for me. I see the game differently. I see it more clear probably than when you're kind of focused and locked into calling plays all the time. And listen, Preston and I have been together for 7 years, all the way back to our days in Philadelphia when he was a quality control coach for me. So I got a lot of trust in him and how he puts game plans together. And he's done an outstanding job, for us this year in the first 8 games. And so it was that decision right there made it easy, for me to turn it over to Press.
Okay, let's talk about the first couple of weeks where it maybe doesn't look as good as we all kind of expected. Was there any doubt or thought there as it was happening, or did you have faith?
I continued to have faith, but, obviously you're going to get asked the question about every single call, right? Because we weren't playing very well. The Kansas City game, the Houston game was just a mess. And you get a lot of questions about that. But look, I trusted the players. I trusted my coaches and said, listen, if we're going to do this thing, we're going to go in all, we're diving in. We're going all the way with this thing. So continued to have faith, continue to have trust and Press. And slowly but surely we worked ourselves. I think the best thing for our football team was to get into Europe, get over to London for 10 days and really kind of bond and get close, stay in the hotel, travel, do all that stuff. And that kind of gave us a little bit of that galvanizing feeling back here in Jacksonville.
It's like a bowl game. Kind of get like time away from everything, eliminate all the distractions, need to be with each other because you're in the same place. That could be a beautiful thing. A lot of people say it's bad to go to London. Feels like you guys have really been able to take advantage of it. Happy that has happened for your team. Speaking of your team, as we've been live here, you just got a new guard from Minnesota.
Wow.
Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars who just made a trade for Ezra Cleveland from the Minnesota Vikings, who have got a quarterback today and now shipped a guard out of town. Obviously, You knew this was going to happen. You're Doug Pederson. You're the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But how does it feel to be on a team that's like buyers at the trade deadline as potentially sellers? That's just expectations, I guess, these days.
Well, I think that is expectations. And obviously getting a good player to come in here and help us. And we've already got a good offensive line, and Ezra can come in and give us some really good depth. And it's just a matter of getting him caught up and getting him in the room, with a really good offensive line, guys like Brandon Scherf. I mean, he's the leader in there, and Luke Fortner. And, you look at these guys, Cam Robinson, Walker Little, these guys are just busting their tail every week. So getting a guy like Ezra, his caliber, we got a starting type guard, really solidifies our offensive line and makes us better.
Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, your owner seems awesome. Sean Khan, we see him in his yacht doing yoga all over the place, sweet mustache. What's it like working for a guy like him? And I assume you have a great relationship. And can you talk on how important that is as a head coach to have a good relationship, not only GM and everyone else in the front office, but also the owner, like the guy that is kind of calling the shots?
Yeah, Shad is unbelievable. His family's unbelievable. Tony, they're just humble people. When he bought the team, 12 years ago, they haven't had a ton of winning seasons here. I think only 2 winning seasons. Last year was the second, winning season for him. And you want to win for guys like that because he's so humble. He gives you every opportunity to be successful, gives you all the resources that you need, to add pieces to your coaching staff, add pieces to your football team, and just a humble guy to be, successful in the business world that he is. And it makes it, I don't want to say easy because, coaching is not easy, but it makes you want to win for a guy like that. And that's the feeling here in Jacksonville, with Mr. Khan and just he's so happy and elated, obviously right now and where we are as a football team. He hasn't been in this position, obviously as an owner in Jacksonville. And, you want to do everything you can to make sure you stay in this position.
He was trying to do everything to get that place buzzing. He couldn't go on the field, obviously, but the building up of the pools and the game day and everything, very obvious that he and his family want it to be successful. Now it is. Whenever Urban got hired there, we heard about maybe a new Jacksonville city that was being built for the Jaguars and all these plans for everything that's going in. Obviously, the Urban Meyer era ends. You come in. Is that stuff still all in the works happening? What is, and how much say do you want to have in what the future of the Jacksonville Jaguars look like?
Yeah, no, we're in a brand new building right here with the Miller Electric Center. It was just finished right before training camp. So we got a brand new, football complex, 2 beautiful fields. We got the bleachers, 2,500 fans at training camp, practices every day. Just a fabulous building right outside, Everbank Stadium. And then, of course, there are the plans for the stadium, right? We understand here in Jacksonville, the weather gets nice and hot in September and October. And, we want to the next really renovation is to put a roof over the top of this stadium. So that's all in the planning phases. That's all in the works right now. The rendering, the drawings have been out and people have been able to see it. And I do want to be a part of that, and I think I was a part of the Miller Electric Center, kind of designing coaches' offices and different things. And it just gives you a feeling and appreciation of ownership as we talk about with players. And it's exciting times right now in Jacksonville, and we got some great years ahead.
Yeah, well, let's relax. Colts still got a team.
True.
Colts still got a team in the AFC South, but I will say it is an honor to watch you do your thing, and I'm incredibly happy that the Jacksonville Jaguars are in the position that they're at now because of you, and good for Trevor, man. Honest. Was Trevor the big reason why you chose the Jags? I know there's a lot of places that wanted to.
It really was. When I had an opportunity to look at some of the teams that I could potentially interview for, Jacksonville was the number 1 spot because of Trevor Lawrence.
Brand new facility too.
Come on.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah,
Florida.
We're gonna make a dome. Oh.
No taxes.
Yeah.
Doug, good for you, man. You deserve it all, pal. Hey, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Snickers, those little mini Snicker bars.
Okay, still eating those? You're in good shape right now.
No, I've cut that out of my diet. That's why I'm in the shape I'm in now.
Okay, Florida man, have you always been this way? What is it every day?
No, man, I'm a sweet tooth guy. I would eat Snickers. I love the ice cream. You guys have seen part of the videos.
The ice cream
stuff. It's my kryptonite. So, I got to push away. No more sweets.
All right, we're proud of you. We're very.
Thank you.
It is Halloween. You know that ice cream one.
It's
We don't need to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Head coach. Yeah. Got you. Super Bowl champion, Doug Pederson. Thank you, buddy.